The minute I walked outside, Sabrina, the heat hits you like a slap in the face. When will this heat end?
Yeah, temperatures today were actually the warmest of the entire week, and it does look like we'll see a little bit of relief coming our way tomorrow once the red flag warning expires. It's in fact up until 8 o'clock tonight. You can see for the mountain and valleys. That means Palomar as well as into Ramona and even into El Cajon. Winds forecast between about 15 and 25 miles per hour sustained. Currently, we're still seeing them on the higher side out toward Pine Valley, about 19, Campo around 22. But check this out. Most areas are still dealing with that easterly wind, except the coast. It has that westerly component. Trying to cool things off from that sea breeze, tomorrow everyone's winds are going to begin to shift, and as a result, temperatures will start to fall. Here's your proof in your wind forecast. At around 6 o'clock tonight, already noticing the breeze pretty much non-existent for the coast, staying about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Still a little bit higher out toward the mountain communities until you get to around 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, though, look at the wind direction. Everyone has a westerly component. That will drop our temperatures 5 to 10 degrees. We'll talk more about exactly next work week. We're still dealing with the high heat that we have in place for us, and anticipating those temperatures to be above normal at least 3. Soaring to the Santa Ana heat, 94 degrees. Dew points in the 20s. This is the driest day, and as a result, the humidity is fallen into the single digits, and that is the threat for any sort of fires that grow to happen fairly quickly because it is so dry, and wind there about 14 miles per hour. We will start to notice our temperatures cooling off a little bit, but still well above the norm, at least until we get to about Monday when we get a little bit of that rain in our forecast. Still that upper level ridge that is in place, plus surface high pressure. Both those systems have winds that go clockwise. So when you look at it, it's all steering our winds predominantly out of the east, and that, of course, is warming things up. We get that sea breeze right along the coast, trying to cool things off just a little bit. That's prevented us from reaching our record-breaking temperatures. Records in San Diego about 95 today. So far, I've seen them just reach around 90. We notice this deep trough, though, out over toward the Pacific, and that's what's in our forecast. It's going to increase our winds out of the west, and as a result, we cool things off so much so tomorrow we drop about 5 degrees, but really taking us back to seasonal once we get closer to Monday with isolated showers. Temperature forecast for you about 6 o'clock tonight. We're pretty much looking at the upper 70s for the coast, inland areas on into the mid 80s. Tomorrow morning, we wake up yet again fairly seasonal. We'll see clear skies into the 60s for us. In the afternoon, quite a change. No longer are we talking about the upper 90s. We have the mid 90s in El Cajon, and going for just about 83 into downtown, 88 degrees out over toward Chula Vista. Coming up, we'll talk more about the thing for our very dry conditions. Humidity forecast to go 6 to 10% today, and with that, a red flag warning is up at least through 8 o'clock tonight. That's for the area shaded in red, meaning you into Escondido, also into Ramona, and pulling out over toward Pine Valley. Humidity levels right now are seeing the lowest. The further inland areas you spot. Ramona, you're 7%. Same thing for El Cajon. You can see the humidity a little bit higher, closer, obviously, toward the coastline. You can see now 12% in Del Mar or into downtown San Diego. That's still below our threshold of about 15%, which is what we look at for the threat of fires growing fairly quickly. The good news is that the humidity forecast by 7 a.m. already shows some improvement for the coast, although still looking fairly low out over toward Alpine, around 11%. And then by the time we get to the afternoon, evening hours, more moisture begins to pull in. Humidity values go up, and eventually those temperatures start to drop. We'll show you your 7-day forecast with the cool down in store. Guys, 24 hours, though, we have jumped about 12 degrees into Oceanside, 17 degrees warmer in Chula Vista, 5 degrees warmer in Poway. We will flip the script tomorrow, and these values will all be negative. We will actually drop, I'd say, about 5 to 10 degrees for us. Currently, we're sitting at 94 in Ramona. Boy, you can't wait for that cool down, right? Temperatures in El Cajon, you're currently 95. You can top that in Chula Vista, 96 degrees currently, where we are getting a little bit of that sea breeze only on into the 80s, out toward Del Mar, 81, but into Oceanside, upper 80s, like 88 degrees. A good chunk of sunshine happening for the center of the country, but a lot of rainfall also. Now beginning to move a little bit closer out over toward New England and even throughout the mid-Atlantic, and with that, severe thunderstorm watch is posted mostly because of some high winds. We've seen a lot of reports of tree damage coming down. That lasts until 11 o'clock tonight in the area shaded in pink. In green, flash flood watch is up, where you can see they will see 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. Speaking of our cool down, we're not going to get this cold. They have frost advisories for portions of, looks like Minnesota, even out over toward into Indiana and Illinois. However, their temperatures will fall into the mid-30s to the low 30s. Back here at home, if you're still trying to cool things off, fair conditions for you. If you're doing a little bit of surfing, water temperature 59 to 64 degrees with knee to waist-high sets. 7-day forecast shows you that cool down. It is on its way. 85 tomorrow. That's better than the upper 80s, right? Saturday, 79. These values still above the norm, which is around